love the music.
Oh, yeah.
Jake is saying he loves the music, and of course he does. That's Greg Billings and the Stranger Band, man.
Yes.
If you ain't heard of him yet, I can keep talking all day long. I get to see him this Sunday, December 18th, out at Safety Harbor. There's a big Christmas bash. There's a big Christmas bash going on that Greg does for a selective family over there and everything else. A girl that Tiana and I got to meet a few months back that opened for Greg named Summer Hoop. She is the next big thing. She will become a star. She will be up there with Taylor Swift and all those people, but not singing Taylor's music. But Summer Hoop, she was awesome and fabulous. And Greg is now doing the Abraham Billings thing now with Jeff Abraham, and they have their first new album out. And he said something the other day on Facebook that it's kind of weird that after 40 years of people singing with your music because they just know your songs, that you write a new album, it's all kind of new music. And he's like, I just watching people kind of like, what do you call the
now what?
What's the head
nod?
Yeah,
just a head nod.
Yeah. So, Jake, so talk to us a little bit about why you're here. You're here because we asked you to come, but
Sure.
But you represent Jasper Engines and Transmissions. Steve, Todd, and I, we all have shops, and we try to buy the product and do all that. I just got done installing a motor that we put in a 95 Dodge
truck,
5.2 liter. So we're happy with the products and all this. Tell me what's going on with Jasper.
Man, we've been busier than we've ever been. A lot of people are repowering what they have. They're not buying new. Obviously, there's still a chip shortage, some other shortages out there. Parts has been a big feat for everybody. However, we're overcoming it. We love, what we do, and we love you guys as customers. I mean, if we didn't have you guys, it's, it would be pointless for me to be on the road.
You had to get a motor for my motor or ask me to send mine in because you didn't have one. And it took an extra 3 weeks to get. I wasn't worried about it. Here's the deal with the customer. Their truck is already blown. The motor's blown. What are you going to do? You're going to go somewhere else and get in their queue? You're already in our queue. I mean, it's just, you got to accept that. But a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah. Well, we were having an issue with core for a lot across the nation. We're fully staffed now. We're actually doing a lot of renovation in Indiana. We're putting in an additional 18,000 square feet. Wow. So with that being said, that should double our, our capacity as far as getting units out. We've had to, outsource, other areas, warehouses and whatnot to keep this core to store it. So we have it. It's sad that, we're seeing, we're talking about all these authentic cars and the things that are out there. The reason these things are authentic is because back then, when your 57 Chevy blew up, you just took it to the junkyard. You went and found another one and said, "Hey, I'm just going to use that one." They were dime a dozen. That's the way the cars are coming nowadays. They're becoming a dime a dozen. They're being abused, wore out to the point where they can't be driven. And then you have that percentage that are taking care of them, and that's what are still on the road. So that's where we come into play. We want you to keep what you have instead of getting into something that you don't want to have.
And one of the things I love about Jasper is that you can sit there and say, hey, I need a Remand engine. I need a Remand transmission. I can find new, but they're going to be something, but Remand. And when you call Jasper, you're not buying a Remand, which is short for remanufactured.
Well, it is a remanufactured. It's not a rebuilt.
It's not a rebuild.
Rebuild's totally different than a remanufactured. Remanufactured, we're putting all standard set of new parts in, machining processes, things like that. When you rebuild something, you're fixing the problem that was inside that engine or that transmission, and you're putting it back together, and you're sending it out on the road.
Best example is the CVT.
There you go.
Because that little part in there that breaks, and you guys went in and you manufactured one thicker.
Not a
stronger.
Not a CVT. We don't do CVTs. You're talking about like the 68 RFE or the 62 TE. We did, we use different clutch packs. We add more clutches to the transmissions. Engines all has to do with machining, and our piston design is our, we own it. You're not going to find a Jasper piston, in another product. You're going to find our design pistons in our products only. So.
They fixed the problem on some of the cars too, like
that's correct.
The EGR valve tubes. They've drilled them out, enlarged them to take the passages. The Fords with the phasers and timing chains, and like the Equinoxes and all that stuff that have the PCV valve issues. They've redesigned the intakes for the PCV valves, and they go in and they not just remanufacture the engine. They fixed the known causes.
We fixed the inherited flaws that the manufacturer didn't fix to begin with.
Gotcha.
So you have remedials. They're called rapid remedials. You have TSBs, technical service bulletins, things like that. Manufacturer knows when you're mass producing a certain product that, you're buying things pennies on the dollar and you're saying, hey, if we're mass producing X amount, we know we're going to have X amount that are going to fail. But we want to make our money on the front end. We'll worry about that later.
Right.
So think about the average person keeping a vehicle nowadays. It was totally different 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Somebody kept their vehicle 3 to 5 years. Nowadays they're keeping them for 8 to 10.
How about that Dodge roller bearing? The needle bearings are coming apart on the lifters, right?
Yeah, the 3.6 Pentastar. Yeah, we redesigned that. We took one of the needle bearings out. We actually, it's a cam and follower. We redesigned that for its inherited flaw to make it last longer. The biggest one is the 6.4 Hemi that we just redesigned. We actually took a camera, put it into the engine because it had an oiler feeding problem that was going to the lifters. And what we did was we actually, on live run, we shown a picture or a camera of how much it wasn't feeding from the factory, from the OE side.
Right.
We redirected the oiler. Instead of it cooling on the cylinders, it now squirts up to the lifters. And it's been great success.
Now you guys do all engines?
Not all. So
Not all.
A lot of it's depending on. We're a business just like everybody else.
Right.
So we're only going to feed and put the energy into what's out there, what we see, the commodity at the time.
Gotcha.
Of what we're going to build and reman. We're not going to go and do. Your Toyota or your Honda that's going to run 1 million miles.
Right,
We're doing the things that we know that are popular, the things that are going to fail. We see the inherited failures on them. We're going to put our energy into those and move forward. Hyundais and Kias, that's something we do not do. We don't get involved with those.
Right. Now, do they have to send you a core also?
No, not on all product. Just when we are low on product availability, sometimes we will ask you to send a core in so we can reman that one. Right. Very low.
Yeah, like
low
the
standard on that.
Toyota 27s.
Yeah.
Try to find them.
Yeah, there you go.
There's not a manufacturer that does.
Yeah, it isn't. But they don't fail that much.
That's
I mean,
it's like we don't have no cores.
Yeah.
Because I got a guy that wants to put one in the car so bad, and I've called everywhere, but it's like you have to just rebuild it yourself. Nobody. There's just no core availability.
So what's the biggest selling engine? Small block Chevy or
350? It's always been. Yeah.
Awesome.
The 350s have been a hot commodity. The 5.3s, the 4.8s are they're teetering.
You also do different phases of the LS.
We do
the small
yeah.
blocks. It's not just a 200 or 185 horse 350.
Yeah, we do a class 1, class 2.
Okay.
We kind of faded away from the class 2. Now we just do the class 1, which is going to soup it up a little bit. It's going to give her a milder cam. Everything's pretty much going to be overboard of what it was OE standard.
Now guys are doing LS engines. You guys are doing them too?
Yeah, we do those all day long. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then they do all the 6-liter injector issues, and they've redesigned all that.
That's right.
Yeah, our air and fuel departments have been our air and fuel division's just been ramping up. I mean, it's huge. Yeah, we just purchased 2 large companies. We did D&W Diesel and Diesel USA Group. Opened up huge windows and opportunities for us in the field to be able to provide the internationals for the DT466s, the Cummins platforms. It just goes on and on. So.
That's huge to know that a company that's how old now?
80 years.
80 years.
Right here.
And you're still expanding and growing.
We are.
As a business, if you're not growing, you're stagnant. And if you're stagnant, you're in the past.
We're 80 years young.
That's
so
awesome.
We are. We really
awesome.
are. So
I saw you bring something in with you today.
We did. I did. I got something for you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do. This has got a little history to it. So I'm going to pass it over to Todd here. I want him to open it up, and then I'll kind of explain it. Goes back to where we first started out. It's a when we first started out, in 80 years ago in a 12x20 wash bay.
Right.
We had a contract with the government to redo old engines for the government.
Okay.
So This is
Nice.
a original sign for Jasper. This is our Ford Flathead.
Wow.
And it's not going to ever be duplicated. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I
Very
want you guys
cool.
to hang that up. But,
Hang that up right
I
there.
thought
Put
you
it
guys
right over
would.
there by the.
I thought you guys would love this because of the fact of what you guys do and see this stuff all the time. I thought this was just a great, great
Pretty cool.
Thanks,
great
Jake.
sign for you guys.
We just got Bruce Campbell's 50 Ford out that had the
Flathead on it, yeah.
We put intake with dual carbs, electronic ignition, and dual exhaust on it. So pretty cool.
Check it
That's
out,
awesome, man. That's awesome. I don't know the
I
camera
got a
can see this
50
pretty well.
Hemi.
yeah.
I got
There
the
you
big
go.
Hemi.
Really appreciate that, Jake.
Yeah, you're
That's
welcome,
freaking awesome,
Hey,
man.
Merry Christmas
love
to you
that.
guys.
Thank you,
you for
Jake.
having me on again. And,
Yep.
and man, it's always been a pleasure. And man, I just love what you guys are
Well,
doing.
it's been a while, and we need to get you in because the updates, because you keep us on our toes
Yeah.
as to what's going. Because we get your literature each month, but it's to sit down and read it. and
Yeah.
what's going on. It's hard, and you don't get to swing by every week. or
Oh
anything
man, I wish I
because
could.
you're
I really
actually
do. Yeah.
you're going over to the West Coast a lot. You're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
you're busy.
I'm going. I
The
do.
website is Jasper Engines and Transmissions.
JasperEngines.com. You can go there. You can also, if you want to read or learn about some of the newer product that's out, Jasper Go. Go there. You can go in, click on a 3.5 Duratec EcoBoost. Learn about our transmissions. We put in, our machining processes, what we actually do to fix the inherited issues, the common causes, things like that. So, great website to go to, Jasper Go.
Beautiful.
Before the show started, you were on the phone with a coworker. Who was that?
That was Bob Utley.
Okay, Bob.
Bob,
Hope you're doing well, man. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas to you. Happy New Year.
we got it. We got it resolved. Whatever you needed.
You came out and gave a lot of swag and helped represent and everything. Dolphin Auto's 10th anniversary
Yes,
car
sir.
show back last April.
Yeah.
Who was that was with you?
That was my wife, my daughter, her boyfriend, my two other daughters.
I thought you had another rep with you. You didn't have anybody else? With you? No.
No.
Okay.
It was just my family.
Okay.
We came out, supported you guys, and
Yeah.
it was fun. We had a big table set up, and people were coming by. You have any more shirts left?
There you go.
Yeah. So,
Brooke Ann.
Brooke Ann. No, Blake Ann. I'm
Blake
Blake
Ann.
Ann.
I said it wrong. I set him up for that. Blake Ann. Congratulations on that. And
Thank
everything
you
else,
so
Jake.
much, man.
Love you so
Merry
much. You'll
Christmas.
be back.
Thanks, Jake.
you guys.
Yeah, brother. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you.
One more
Have a good
segment
one.
to go. Hang on. We'll be right back.